ER2 would like you to understand the true nature of the game plan as piloted by George Regan of Regan Communications. He has been hired by Mayor Carlo DeMaria to improve the image of his honor, who clearly has current and future credibility problems brought on only by him. So friends, let's take a peek behind the curtain and see what this is all about, shall we? The best way to explain the game plan is for us to ask, who is George Regan? In a July 26, 2016 article from HuffPost.com, writer Stacey Alcorn describes Regan's early years. At the age of 17 he was a reporter for the Boston Globe, the youngest to have his own byline, and by his early 20s he was a key staff member for Boston Mayor Kevin White, with whom he worked for more than a decade, first as press secretary and later as director of communications for the city of Boston. By his early 30s he had already earned himself an impressive resume and a Rolodex of Boston's most powerful people, guaranteeing him a lifetime of steady employment in government communications or journalism. There is no argument that Regan is plugged into all the important names up and down the East Coast. But none are so important to Carlo DeMaria as George's connections as a FOTMER political hack and his past employment with the Boston Globe. The lump of clay we know as Carlo DeMaria is putty in Regan's hands. DeMaria also has other media mavens he can call upon to plant the puff pieces he so desperately craves and needs. One such person who has profited handsomely at the hands of DeMaria is attorney Jeffrey Robbins with the law firm Saul Ewing LLP. Everett residents may recognize the name of that law firm as counsel for DeMaria in his lawsuit against Everett leader Harold. It is said no better than in the Everett Reporter April 3, 2022 post entitled Days of Squalor. It is written the days of attorneys being labeled as ambulance chasers takes on a new meaning over at the offices of Saul Ewing Arnstein and Lair LLP, with that kind of money being spent. Attorney Jeffrey Robbins shows he can sink lower than Mayor DeMaria with his ethical behavior. But if you look at the scum of attorneys who are employed in Everett, Attorney Robbins fits right in. He must have lots and lots of confidence in his case by leaking depositions and speaking about it in the Boston Herald, a newspaper he is employed by. So, next time you come across something like this, or this, or this, or this, when you read these types of stories, it is important to remember a couple of things. First and foremost, remember who the architects behind these puff pieces and slanted views. Second, consider the subject matter in one Carlo DeMaria. This man is the poster child for bad behavior and poor choices. And when a politician like him is incapable of generating his own redeeming publicity, he takes the next best route and buys it for himself. In the end, it becomes more likely than not that what you are reading is not a news story but instead